Good morning. I am continuing on with our Unit 1. This is our last objective of this unit, CO10. We are going to be applying the order of operations correctly with integers. So we're really going to be thinking about step by step what we're doing. When I put stuff on the board, I need you to write it on your binders, and I need you to write it the way that I do. There are reasons why I show us how to do certain things in a very specific way. Sometimes it's okay to do math in different ways because we can have good number sense and we know different ways to manipulate the numbers and we get the same answer. And then there are times when I will say, do it like this. The reason I do that is because I've taught this class many times. I know the common mistakes that students make. And I've set it up in a way that will help you succeed. If you do it in your own way, it might work on this objective, but in the future, you're not going to have that right setup. You're going to be used to doing it the wrong way, and it's going to cause problems. So when I show us how to do it on the paper today, I want you writing it exactly how I'm writing it, so you can get in the habit of doing the order correctly, so we don't make mistakes in the future, because math builds on itself. Order of operations will build and build and build and get way more complex than what we have today. It will. So we're preparing ourselves for it now by getting in good habits. Okay, so the way I put it on the board is what you put on your paper. When I write something on the board, it's not just because I'm writing for the fun of it. You write it on your paper. All right, we're going to consider the following conversation. Mr. Schultz says, hello and good day, Mr. Boyle. Mr. Boyle says, greetings to you, my good man. Say, can you help me solve an equation? Mr. Schultz, I certainly hope so. What is it? Mr. Boyle says, it's 1 plus 4 times 3 equals 15. If I add 1 plus 4 first to get 5, then multiply by 3, the answer is 15. However, if I multiply 4 times 3 first to get 12, and then I add 1, the answer is 13. Uh-oh. Can math have two different answers? No. So which one of these is correct? One is right, one is wrong, because there can only be one answer. What do you think, Rhoda?
15.
Why do you think that?
Because adding 1 before the 3.
So when we're reading from left to right, because math equations we read left to right, Rhoda's saying, well, we get to 1 plus 4 first, so that's what we should do first. Jack, what do you think?
I think it's 4 times 3.
Why would I do 4 times 3 first?
Because order of operations, multiplication times equation.
Ooh. If I look at that order of operations, PERMDAS, multiplying with the M, comes before adding with the A. Well, let's work it out. Let's see if Rhoda's right or if Jack's right. One of them is right. One is the correct answer and one is not. Their logic that they both use is very, very common that lots of kids use. Okay, so I have a lot of students that think Rhoda's way and a lot of students that think Jack's way. We're going to say which way we should all start thinking. So how can the same equation have two different answers? As you can probably guess, if this were allowed to happen, it would be a problem. That's why we have the order of operations. Without them, one can make a case that neither answer is correct, but that's not so with math. With math, there's one correct answer. But because of the order of operations, we know there's only one correct answer and which one it is. So let's look at what our order of operations is. So we know that with Khan Academy, passwords have to do with PERMDAS. We're gonna find out why, because it's super important for us to know. So, PERMDAS. So the P stands for parentheses. If you see those parentheses in your equation, you do the parentheses first, no matter where it falls in the equation. You always do whatever's inside the parentheses, you do first. Next is the E for exponents that we just learned about the other day. So first you look to see, do I have any parentheses? I'm going to do whatever's inside the parentheses. Then you look to see, do I have any exponents? I'm going to do that math. 7 to the third power, I'm going to do 7 times 7 times 7. Find that out. Then we have radicals. A square root is a radical. Now, exponents and radicals are opposite of each other, right? The square root of 49 is 7. 7 squared is 49. So these two fall on the same level. So that's where reading from left to right comes in handy. You start at the left of your equation, you go left to right, whichever one you hit first. Exponents or radicals, radicals, exponents. It doesn't matter the order. It's reading left to right, whichever one comes first you do. So a lot of times people think, well, exponents and radicals, I see exponents is the first word, so I look for any exponents, then I look for any radicals. Nope, it's as you're reading your equation going across, whichever one you hit first, you do first. Then we have M is multiply, D is division. So, same level because they're opposites. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 divided by 7 is 3, right? They work together. So just like exponents and radicals, when we read from left to right, it's whichever one we hit first. It's not, I do my multiplying, then I do my dividing. Whichever one comes first. You're reading the equation left to right. Joy. The last two are our last two operations. You are correct. A for addition, S for subtraction. And those two are opposites. 5 plus 3 equals 8. 8 minus 5 equals 3. Right? They go back and forth. So again, we go back to the beginning of your equation. You go left to right. It's whichever one you hit first. So often, people will skip over subtraction sign and go to the addition sign because they see the A comes before the S in PERMDAS. The ones that I linked together, it doesn't matter which one comes first. Exponents, radicals, multiply, divide, add, subtract. If it's on the same level, it's whichever one comes first. I keep repeating that because it's a super common mistake. Okay? Don't make that mistake. So if all the operations in the equation are on the same level, work from left to right. So exponents and radicals, left to right. Multiply and divide, left to right. Add, subtract, left to right. Even though you won't be able to use a calculator on this part of the test, you can use it to check your answer. Make sure you enter the equation into your calculator exactly how it's written here. A lot of times people go, well, I put it into my calculator and I get a different answer. What did I do wrong? But you're not putting it into the calculator correctly. So if you're going to use the calculator to check your answer, we have to make sure we're doing it correctly. On the test next week, we will not be using calculators. Okay, we've been working all of these out by hand. Calculator for homework just to check, but you're not using it on the test. Okay.
It says to,
So left to right. You come to the first parentheses, you do that, then you go to the second parentheses and you do that. Good question. It's just like the adding and subtracting. You read from that left to right. All right, so let's practice some together. So we're going to evaluate each equation. Show your work by writing the equation again as you do each step. So the way I write it on the board is how you write it on your binder. I have seen students come up with many different ways to do this. And it gets complicated when you're not doing it my way. It is not often that I say, do it my way. Okay? This is one of those times, do it my way, because I know what's coming in the future. And I know, yeah, you might be able to figure it out with these easier equations, but friends, it gets so much more complicated when we get to pre-algebra, when you get to algebra. And if you're not setting yourself up correctly now, it will cause problems. Do this my way. It will help you be successful. So let's look at our first equation. 8 plus 6 divided by 2. Thinking about PERMDAS. So you have it just higher up. I had to scroll up. So I'm writing PERMDAS down here because I can't see the top of my page as we're talking. You don't have to write it at the bottom of your page because it's in the middle of your page. Do I have any parentheses? No. So I can skip over that step. Do I have any exponents or radicals? No. Do I have any multiplying or dividing?
yes.
Yes. So I have to do that first. So every time I come to a level, I start at the left and I go to the right. I have just one dividing. 6 divided by 2. Notice how I grouped that together. You group it together. What is 6 divided by 2? Jackson? 3. So I'm going to put that 3 right below it. Then I have to bring down the rest of the equation straight down. So I haven't used my 8, and I haven't used the plus. Are there any more multiplying and dividing? No. So I'm going to go to my next level, adding or subtracting. I have just one operation left. That's 8 plus 3, and that equals 11. I have no more operations, so that is my final answer. Knowing that, let's look back up to Mr. Boyle's question. He had 1 plus 4 times 3. What would I do first? Matt? I do that multiplying first. 4 times 3, multiplying comes before adding. I bring down the rest of my equation. 1 plus 12 is 13. So you did have to multiply first, then go back to add. Okay. All right. Now let's look at our next one. Parentheses of 9 minus 4 times 10. What is the first thing I'm going to do? Oh my goodness, I only see 2 people who know. What is the first thing I have to do looking at PERMDAS? Leo,
Subtract 9 minus 4
why would I subtract 9 minus 4 first, Leo?
because parentheses comes first.
Because parentheses comes first. It doesn't matter that it's subtracting way at the end of PERMDAS. It's inside the parentheses. Whatever's inside the parentheses, you do first. So I have to do 9 minus 4, which is 5. I'm going to bring down the rest of the equation. I only have one operation left. 5 times 10 is 50. Let's do our next one. 4 plus 1 plus 3 times 2. What do I do first? Looking at the order of operations. Michael,
Multiply 3 times 2.
I'm going to multiply because I don't have any parentheses. I don't have any exponents or radicals. I do have a multiplication. 3 times 2 is what? 6. So I'm going to put the 6 under that. What's my next step? I wrote my 6 under the 3 times 2. What do I have to do, Jude?
4 plus 1.
Before that, before I do any of the math, what do I have to do to my equation? Remember, I'm rewriting the equation each time. So how do I rewrite that equation?
Bring down the 4 plus 1
I bring down all the stuff I haven't done yet. So I have to bring down 4 plus 1 plus the 6. So you always bring down anything because we are rewriting the equation every time. So what do I do now? I have 4 plus 1 plus 6. What do you think, Haley? What should I start with? Yeah, because I read left to right like I'm reading a book. Adding and adding are on the same level. So I hit 4 plus 1 first. So I'm going to write 5. Then I'm going to bring down the next part of my equation. 5 plus 6 is 11. So every year I have friends say, Miss Gambino, this is too much busy work. I can do that math in my head. I know 4 plus 1 is 5 plus 6 is 11. I'm just going to write 11 for my answer. Why do you think that frustrates me as a teacher? Why would I get frustrated when somebody says, I'm just going to do mental math with this because I can? Matt?
Because you just saw a whole lesson, or like how to do it, and then just saw it.
Why am I being a mean teacher making you write every step? You're close. Vinny?
There's a higher chance of getting the answer.
Mm-hmm. Do I trust that you guys can do mental math?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why am I not letting you do mental math on this? Joy? Yeah. Why else? Dude? Because you will get more complicated equations. You will. I guarantee it. You will have extremely complicated equations. And if you're trying to do everything mental math because you could when you were in 6th grade, I can do it mental math. Why am I getting these wrong? It's because you didn't set up the habit now. So even though you know you can do mental math with this, I still want you writing out every single step because you're forming habits. Form the habit now so when it gets complicated, it's going to be a whole lot easier. So I want to see step by step, rewriting the equation each time. Last one, 5 plus 2 times 3 plus 6. What do I do first? I'm gonna randomly call on people. So everybody should know what I should do first, because I'm just gonna pick somebody. This time I am going to pick Gigi Gallagher. What should I do first? Say it louder for me. 2 times 3, because multiplication comes first. That didn't have any parentheses, no exponents or radicals. And in that multiplying and dividing level, I just have one multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. What do I do next? So think about that. I have a 6 written there. What's my next step? Alex? I'm going to bring down everything I haven't used yet. I rewrite my equation. 5 plus 6. So I'm just bringing it straight down so I don't miss anything. Okay, so now I have 5 plus 6 plus 6. What should I do next? Moses. Why would I not bring down the 3? I already used it. It got connected with the 2. That's why I draw my line. That is a common mistake people make. They forget that they have used a number or used an operation. So I draw that line for a reason. It's to help me see I've already used it. So I've already brought down everything I need to bring down. So Moses, I have 5 plus 6 plus 6. What should I do now? What do I add first? Because remember, this is a step by step. I start from left to right. I come to 5 plus 6 first. 5 plus 6 is 11. Now what do I do? Maddie?
No, bring down the 6 and then add it to the 11.
I'm bringing down not just the 6, I also bring down my operation. So you bring everything down that you haven't used. So now I have 11 plus 6. Now I can add them. 11 plus 6 is 17. I know it's super easy to say, well, I know that the next thing is plus 6, so I'm just going to put that 17. Get in the habit of rewriting the equation every time. It seems like so much extra work that I don't need to do, but you do need to do it. You need that habit. You form the habit now, makes life easier in the future. I have had pre-algebra friends fight me on this, saying, oh, I can do the mental math of this, Miss Gambino, I don't have to do it your way, I get the right answer. And then it comes to the spring of pre-algebra, and all of a sudden they look at me and they go, why did I get all these objectives wrong? Why can't I do this? Because they didn't form the habit. And they're doing it wrong because they're trying to do it mental math. They're trying to set it up their own way. Set it up now so next year when you're in pre-algebra with Mr. Schultz, you don't make that mistake. He will be so happy and so proud of you and happy with me for teaching you to follow step by step, because it will make life easier. Truly. Does he subscribe? I believe he did. All right, so let's look at our second page. Second page is our homework page. The first one says evaluate each equation. What does the word evaluate mean, Fernanda? To solve. What does it mean to solve? Jack? Get the answer. You're going to do the math, right? So when you see evaluate, you see solve, you're doing the math, you're doing the operations in the correct order. Show your work by writing the equation again as you do each step. The work that we did on the first page. Did you do the first operation? Yeah, bring down and rewrite the equation. You do the next operation. Depending on how many operations we have, we might have a bunch of operations. You're going to be bringing down lots of stuff. So let's look at our top row. We're going to come to a more complicated one to work out together. Let's look at the end here. 2 times parentheses -4 plus 6 divided by parentheses 9 minus 5. Thinking again about PERMDAS. And you can rewrite PERMDAS on the top of your paper to help you remember without having to flip back. Remember your levels. Let's look at that. What should my first step be? Haley. So, but yeah, we're going to the complicated one. -4 plus 6. What would that be? Oh, goodness, now we're throwing in negative numbers. I need to remember how to use that number line. Matt, what's -4 plus 6? 2. If we start at -4 on the number line, we add, going to the right, we add 6 and we get a positive 2. Now what should I do? Joy? Bring everything else down. So I have a 2 times, notice I'm bringing it straight down, divided by parentheses 9 minus 5 parentheses. What do I do next? Rhoda. 9 minus 5 is 4. Next step. Claire. Bring everything down. 2 times 2 divided by. So everything you haven't used. What do I do next? Jude. So I have multiplying and dividing. They are on the same level. It doesn't matter which one comes first. I always do the first one I hit. It could be dividing, it could be multiplying. This time I hit multiplying first. If dividing had been there first, I would do that. Because they're the same level, whichever one you hit first. So 2 times 2 is 4. What do I do next? Jack. Nope. Ashley. Bring the rest of the stuff down. So Jack, you always rewrite your equation. Now what do I do? 4 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That is my final answer. Rewrite your equation every time. Say it with me, because we've heard it enough times. Rewrite your equation every time. Okay? When we get to one like this, I do my parentheses first. Inside the parentheses, I still follow the order of operations. So what would I do first with 10 plus 4 divided by 2? Michael?
Yeah, 10.
Order of operations, Michael. What do I do first? Add or divide?
Divide.
So inside that parentheses, you still follow the order of operations. Divide before you add. Okay? Now, this next section gets a little complicated. It says, place parentheses in the equation to make each of these equations equal to 27. So where would I put my parentheses? Because 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 7 is 13. It's not 27. So where would I put parentheses to make this work? What do you think, Jude?
2 + 7.
If I put my parentheses here, I know I have to add my 2 + 7 first, because I always do parentheses first. So 2 + 7 is 9. I bring down 3 times 9. Oh my goodness, look at that. 3 times 9 is 27. So you need to find where to put the parentheses on the next two to make it equal 27. So a lot of times it's those parentheses have to go around adding or subtracting something. So you do that first, otherwise you have to multiply or divide first. But if it's in parentheses, that always comes first. Then you have your review. Look back at previous objectives to help you if you need it. Any questions? Okay. Step by step, rewrite the equation every time. I mean it. You might be able to do it mental math and get the correct answer, or do it in a hodgepodge order that's not organized because they're simple equations. It's not going to help you in the future. I need to prepare you for what's to come. This one I'm saying, do my way. Not often I say that, but do my way, because it will help you. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.